You're listening to the Breadcrumb Mojito podcast, hosted by Connor Whale.
Mr. Jonny Park.
Hello.
Welcome.
Lovely to see you. How's it going?
And you, very well. Would you like a cocktail?
Absolutely.
Banoffee pie old fashioned, strawberries and cream milk punch.
Let's go strawberries and cream.
Happy days. I had a peach martini, but Jeremy from Bedford and I polished off the whole bottle. And so I was like, oh, wait.
Doesn't sound like Jeremy.
No, exactly right. And so, yeah, it's a good way to get rid of that one. Beer. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for your time.
Of course. That's pretty banging.
It's nice and sweet.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's waking me up.
Modelled off the strawberries and cream lolly. The ones that you get at the dairy.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're not from here, so I don't know if you
I have
the
had
dairy.
them, yeah, but no, yeah. We have something similar in the UK called a refresher.
Okay.
And it's like yogurt and raspberry. Like a chewy, chewy little stick.
Yeah.
You can get them like in the big long bands as well.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to try.
Pretty good, yeah.
You
Put them in the freezer and then they go like rock solid. And because they're thin, you can just like snap them off.
Snap them,
slowly like warm up in your mouth. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, welcome, bro. Thank you very much for coming on and giving us some time.
Of course.
Busy schedule. Late night last night. Well, early morning, I should say.
Yeah, early morning, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is good, especially at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah.
Things are busy, like we had a full bar, so
Perfect.
Yeah.
And business is good, It's you don't mind putting in the effort when business is good.
No, and then that's the thing. You got a full bar of people dancing, having a good time. That's what you do it for.
Makes it all feel a little bit more worth
Absolutely,
it. Yeah. All right, bro. How I kind of normally start is a bit of history of how we got into bartending.
Yes.
And so, where does your story and journey start?
Many moons ago. So I first started off actually. It was kind of like for a family friend, and I was working in a kitchen in a pub, like in the really old part of Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm.
So like a really I guess it was from like the Tudor times, Victorian times, like one of those old school pubs that if the walls could talk, like you'd never leave the
Many
place.
stories.
Yeah. So I started off in the kitchen, and then I moved from there. Did that for a few years, and that was like when I was like 15, 16, like washing dishes, building up. Around about the age of 17, kind of moved. I was like, quite like to develop and learn how to wait, and so I started waiting tables, and then would do like the odd glassy and like the pub bit for like busier nights like New Year's Eve and whatnot. And then that kind of got me into 18 on the bar there and slowly learning, and then just kind of continued. Went from there when I went to uni. Did a bit of hotel stuff, like at a family hotel, which was interesting. Kind of a lot of on-the-job learning because, I guess sometimes the systems with family-run things are not quite there. So
very by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, and they were really like it was a pretty solid hotel. Like they'd do, it was well known in town, but they'd also do like huge functions. I remember like sometimes would have. In one room, we'd have 100 packs. We have a 200 in the middle, 100, and then underneath they have the bistro. And then you go to like pour a beer, and you're like, those lines aren't clean.
Yeah.
So you're like flash trying to do a line clean in the 45 minutes or so you've got before.
Yeah.
Everything sets up, and then obviously first round of drinks, straight into the kitchen, run some plates out, and that was pretty fun. And then moved into nightclub.
Okay. Yeah.
So student bars in Plymouth, so I guess it's similar to like Dunedin here. It's one of those
very
cities
student town.
Very students, so like the population like doubles as you get into kind of like term times, and then you get into summer, and then you're like, this is what it's like without like students. And that was really good. The community there was fantastic. It taught me a lot massive about speed. Like while it was student bars, there were cheap drinks. The GM there across all of them, a guy called Pete, had like epic standards. So all of your spirit mixer glasses were lined up perfectly. The straws were all on one side. Each glass, like if it was a vodka soda, had 2 limes. One was squeezed, one was rimmed. Like it was the standards there were very, very high for getting absolutely rolled with what we had. Like they were around about 230 capacity venues.
Yeah, wow.
And they would be full with a queue, and and that was like a lot of your kind of, I guess we'd call it like old school bartending these days. Like a lot of like the things are signed off with "don't be shit" or so I don't know if I can swear on the podcast, but
you say whatever you want.
So like things signed off with that kind of stuff, or the owner was a bit of a character. So at times it was like he'd go, like, you know, Pete would go away and he'd be like, please don't get fired, you know, because you just get called up for weird stuff like a light had been knocked, so it was facing towards the camera, so the belief was the lighting was wrong, and you'd pop into the bar and you'd be like, no, it's just. Because there was like on one of the bars there was like a platform around that you could dance on. Yeah. So inevitably, like the old disco lights would get knocked or whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, that was great. You'd kind of get in there, and I worked my way up. That was kind of the first place I ever managed. Mm-hmm. So worked my way up to that, and you'd be there like doing the change floats, and it was the UK at the time, so there was a lot of cash. So we got like Corona buckets full of change or whatnot, you know. And then one of the coin bags is split, so you're going through trying to find out which one, and then you look at the cameras, and then. Boom! You've got like 50 people on a society like doing the pub golf or something. So you run down the stairs and pump out some drinks and then back up again. Yeah.
Fucking hell! So you know your journey in hospo started young, but you mentioned you were working in hospo while at uni as well.
Yes. So I worked at uni to kind of sustain myself. At the time, I was like kind of living outside of Plymouth, and when we moved in, it was. Just to kind of pay the rent, and then mostly it was kind of as I finished university, then had the time, and it was just like, right, I could juggle 2 jobs. Yeah. So I was doing the hotel and the nightclubs, and then solely onto the nightclubs after. Yeah.
So what were you studying at uni? Has that translated into any skills for hospo?
I guess some part. So I was doing rescue and emergency management.
Rescue emergency management.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the idea with that was it's the management side and some core skills for the emergency services.
Okay.
So that went into areas of like fire, police, a lot of like disaster management, and how you'd kind of set up these things. And like for example, like the police section was led by an old an ex kind of higher up, and we'd talk through cordons and protocols and this kind of stuff and how they'd do that, and there was case studies. The disaster management thing, like one of the big, like the modules, ended up with this mass exercise that would go out onto like a nearby like old airfield and do like a mass casualty type exercise, and again search patterns and what. But then it also went a lot into kind of the management side of things. So the theory base about how to kind of get the best of your team, different management styles, and kind of finding out where your niche. So down the line, I won't lie, like it was a few years ago. So some of that has kind of like flitted out, but there is also things that, you know, when you're reading back up on stuff or something happens and you're like, oh yeah, and you get kind of that flash of, okay, cool, this is a way that we can manage that or whatnot. So.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think a lot of those skills are relatively transferable. I mean, like when you're in a crisis situation in bars, there's a lot of think fast.
Yes.
You know, like we've run out of an ingredient, or someone's too drunk on the floor, and, you know, a fight breaks out and things like this. Yeah. There are, emergencies don't happen 24/7.
No.
But there's always an opportunity for an emergency to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. It's how you respond to it. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, you know, like you say, in terms of like the leadership and management and how to sort of control the team and get the best out of them and things like that. I mean, that is what a bar manager does, right? Or a venue manager. That's your whole job, is getting the best out of your team.
Absolutely, yeah.
As shit starts at the top and it rolls downhill.
Of course,
if you've got good leadership.
Exactly, yeah. I fully agree with that. The managers have got to be kind of on point. You know, they are almost on a pedestal to a point, and the team will look at it. So if those ducks aren't in a line, then absolutely get the wobbles.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all worked in a venue where you've got a shit manager, for lack of a better term. And, you know, things always happen on their shift. Yeah. And you're just like, that was such an avoidable problem. Yeah. And you can see that, maybe staff members that work on their shift more often, when they come onto your shift where you're running it,
you get so much more, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you see the cut corners and things like this, and you're like, oh, okay, you know, I mean, the owner might be running at 100%, the managers below them are running at 90%, and the managers below them are running at like 70%. Yeah. And the staff below them are running at like 60-50%, you know, and so you can just see all of the different holes and acknowledge them. And I think having those background skills and information and sort of how to manage people and manage disastrous situations definitely puts you in a place to maybe be more aware.
Yeah, more awareness, and I think a lot of that is also what was kind of drilled into us is there's a lot in the prep, right? There's a lot in the systems. There's a lot in if you already have a plan of if this happens, as most things are, right? If this is going to happen, this is our response.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, right, we've got security, we've got managers on the floor, we've got comms, we've got whatnot. So this happens, this is our response. And then it's interesting as well, like, again, Hopso is one of those things. So it's like, it's happened today, or helping with the freezer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
It's like, right, what's the plan? Okay, this will help. This is a response.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? No.
No.
Did it work? It did. Yeah, it solves an issue. So
Yeah, exactly. We just got to keep the ball rolling. You can't just
Yeah.
shut everything down because of one inconvenience.
absolutely, yeah. There's sometimes that like you see and you hear stories of minor inconveniences that it's the end of the world when you're like just a bit of a MacGyver. You've got to run like an extension cable along the floor or whatnot, or
Exactly.
Yeah, is it? Yeah. You've only got one till. Okay, fine.
Yeah. That till's going to work hard tonight.
Yeah.
So be it. Maybe we have one person on that till and everyone passes their orders to that person. So it's not 12 people tripping over each other.
Yeah. And I think also like there's that element that you should be critical, but at the same time, like, and hold yourself to account. But at the same time, these things will happen and they're out of your control.
Yeah.
So just go. It's Hopso. Go with it.
Yeah. And the good managers are always the ones that handle disasters cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
Like you can always notice who's on game and who's.
You might see a little bit of a sheen, but you're like, oh, they've got it. It's fine.
Yeah.
The team aren't worried. The team are just kind of ploughing along.
Yeah.
The best situation is when something fairly serious or they happen, or otherwise happens, and the team are almost none the wiser.
Yeah. It's always
And
good.
look up and like something's there, and okay, fine. You've got it. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Oh, good shit. So, at what point did you come to New Zealand to start Hopso?
So I came to New Zealand in, when was it? 2024.
Oh, pretty recent.
No, sorry, 2024. Jesus, sorry, morning brain. 2014.
2014. Oh, yeah.
2014.
Yep.
So I just turned 14. The plan was to go. Well, we started it. We did what they call the Banana Pancake Trail, which you kind of find out that it's called that while you're over there, because basically every stop you can get probably a banana pancake. So your classic Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, into like kind of Bali. So we did a bit of traveling, four of us, and then we went over to New Zealand. We were meant to be here for a year, experience the country, then Aussie, and then kind of carry on. And I kind of got here and quite enjoyed it, quite liked the pace of life. Did a stint in Queenstown and had already worked up here in Auckland. And then got offered a visa to stay on for a little bit longer, and I was like, yeah, I'll stay for 6 months, and it's just in 10 years now. Yeah, just over.
Good shit.
So yeah, pretty good. Yeah. And it was always one of those things that I'm going to go to a new country. I'm not going to do hospitality, and I've done that, or maybe I'll do it for a little period and do something else, and just kind of fell back in love with it.
Yeah, and it's one of those industries that every country has it.
Yes.
And it's kind of all the same. You're serving people.
Yeah, you're serving people, but the people are different. Like, one of my first things still sticks with me now. Like lemon lime bitters. The first time I got an order for that, I was like, what? And then like a Pinot. So in the UK, normally Pinot Gris, Pinot Gris, and the person's looking at me like I'm an idiot, and I'm like, and they're like, Pinot Noir. And you're like, sorry, and it's just those muscle memories that you then have to adapt.
Yeah. I think that would have tripped me up at the start when someone just orders a Pinot.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
yeah,
red or white, very different things.
And but over here, normally it's Pinot Noir, right? Normally someone asks for a Pinot Gris instead of it being a Pinot.
Yeah.
Same thing like LNP, and you're like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. You quickly learn, and it's one of those kind of like niches.
Brace yourselves. It's sponsorship time. I know ads can feel like the Broccoli podcast, but today we're talking about the Bar Society, a company I own and operate. So think of it as supporting my broccoli farm. This goes out to all cocktail lovers and hospitality pros. Are you ready to elevate your drinking experience? Introducing the Bar Society, New Zealand's leading clear ice supplier. Whether you're stirring down a classic old-fashioned or crafting the perfect gin and tonic, there's no substitute for crystal clear ice. Not only does our ice look stunning, but it also melts slower keeping your drinks colder and your flavors perfectly balanced. From home bartenders to high-end establishments, the Bar Society's here to bring your beverages to the next level. Order today and see why we're trusted by the best bars and restaurants in New Zealand. Visit thebarsociety.co.nz and let us transform your drinks. The Bar Society. Elevate your drinking experience.
It's funny, I haven't thought of a lemon lime bitters for so long.
No.
Like when I used to, I worked at a Lone Star in
Yeah.
Taupo for a while, and like the amount of fucking lemon lime bitters you'd send out. Or have you had to make a traffic light?
No, I haven't.
Oh, bro. So a traffic light is like orange juice in a tall glass. It's a children's drink.
Yeah.
But orange juice in a tall glass with grenadine at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then green food colouring at the top. And so it makes you...
Yeah. We had one cocktail back in the day, like in those nightclubs. Key
Yeah.
West Cooler. And that was kind of the same, but you had to like layer it with 2 tins.
Yeah.
They flew out, you know. It was like, it's just a fancy orange juice, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
People go for it.
In my nightclub days, I first discovered the rainbow shots.
Oh, yeah.
And you fucking pouring out 8 shots and they're all the colours of the rainbow. Like, and that was the cool shit, you know, back in the day when it was quick fucks and B-52s
Absolutely,
and
yeah,
Snickers shots and trash.
They're always great. It's when you're like, so you've got someone at the end that's not very like, not used to doing them, let's say, and they're like, right, we're showing off. And then the two, or whoever else is on the bar is there just getting absolutely rolled. You're like, hurry up. You make $20, you know, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's... have you ever done much flair?
Minimal stuff, yeah, but I wasn't very good at it. So
Yeah.
I had a friend that did it and put a bottle for a fridge door.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
kind of, put the stop to that in that bar. So, yeah, it was like mid-shift on like, so in the UK, public holidays are just a massive session. So over here, everyone just seems to, especially in Auckland, get the hell out. They go into the bush or to the batch or whatnot. In the UK, a few people go away, a few people stay at home, but most people put on like the best Fred Perry like polo or whatnot, and they just hit the bars.
The best polo.
Yeah, you know, like, and it's like the equivalent of the viaduct in Plymouth would just get the police would put a bollard at one end, bollard at the other, and they'd just make it like an open drinking area. So the bars would sell like plastic glasses, and most people have bands or different things on, and then it would just be like a throng, like that photo you've seen of, I'm sure you've probably seen it, of the America's Cup when it was in the viaduct and they had the boat there and the whole thing was just this throng of people. It's like that. And then during that bottle for a fridge, it was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's not a good time for that to happen. Not a good time. I remember when I first started here in Auckland, and a dude that I was working with, he was like, bro, like, I pretty much, he told me his plan, and I just stole it. And I was like, that's my plan now. I was like, this is how I come up with my best ideas. So I listen to other people say them.
It's the best way of doing it.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to get really good at flaring, and then I'm going to go to Australia, and I'm going to bartend there. Yeah. And that planted the seed of like, oh, you must need to be a flair bartender to go to Australia. So I spent like the next 2 years practicing how to flare and getting really good at it. And I got to Australia and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm here for a bartending job. I can flare and everything. And they're like, do you know how to make cocktails?
No.
I'm like, oh, a Cosmo?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, bro, no.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. And I found out,
Glassy Bay,
like, fuck. You're not going to get a job being a flair bartender because exactly what you were saying before with like people doing the fancy shots.
Yeah.
You make no money.
No, yeah.
Because the bar is 10 people deep and it takes you 7 minutes to throw the bottle around before you even start making their drink.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Like I like working flair and I use working flair, but sometimes you're just like, can I just have my drink? You know, like, please, like I love what you're doing. I love that you've honed it. And yeah, we used to work with a guy called Leo, and he was phenomenal at flair.
Yeah.
And he'd do it perfectly, season it in service. You know, like it wouldn't be, all right, there's a customer getting like more and more annoyed.
Yeah.
It would just be like, oh, it's a bit of downtime, so I'm just going to flick a couple of bottles, or again a little bit here and there while somebody's, I've made a cocktail or someone's paying, so I'm just going to do it. And that, like, you just have like the crowd would just be like, amazing. It was great. Like,
Yeah, it is quite cool when you see people that are good at it, and like, they do it time and place. They do it at the right time.
And that's the understanding as well, right? That's the same with a lot of things in hospitals. If you understand time and place, perfect, right? Yeah.
Yeah. A friend of mine's restaurant down in Taupo, Jude, he's been on the podcast. I was helping him out with a shift one night, and he asked me if I'd done any flair before. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've done a little bit. And he was like, oh, yeah, they've just like set the restaurant. And I'm like, oh, yeah, chuck us some tins, but I'll get out of the bar in case I smash anything.
Yeah.
And then I like throw a tin up and I miss it and I fire it at a table and I smash all the wine glasses and water glasses that he's just put on the table in front of his whole team. And I was just embarrassed. So I was
Head
like,
down. I'm gonna get, where's the dustpan?
exactly. I'm like, I'm a fucking moron. Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Did he give you a chance to recover? Did he give you?
I said I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
I'll clean up the glassware and I'm done, bro. I'm done.
Here's a couple of videos if you want it.
yeah, exactly. Well, he did say he's like, I'm going to get that off the cameras.
That's the word. Yeah.
Just because he's always like, I appreciate Jude. He's always like, whenever he has something to do with a cocktail, he calls me up.
Yeah.
And wants to run it past me.
That's
or
cool.
like
Yeah.
he has the first class cocktails in at the restaurant. And so whenever people ask about them, he like gives them this big spiel about me. He's like super encouraging. It's really, really good.
Total salesperson.
Yeah, exactly. And then I do something like that and just embarrass myself in front of his whole crew. It's like, oh, fucking, I'm a knob.
Yeah, the cocktail guy.
yeah. You know all those cool things Jude says about me?
The next day when there's all this free stock turns up, I just think you might want to try the range.
Exactly. Oh, shit. So where did you start when you got to Auckland?
Auckland, I was in Tyler Street Garage.
It
was the Chamberlain, or became the Chamberlain, and then it became, what is it now? The Auckland Football Club Bar.
Sports
bar,
sports bar. That's the one with what was the cocktail bar upstairs?
Portside used to be
Portside.
upstairs. Yeah. So when I was there, it was upstairs. They kind of did private events up there, but it was just where everyone wanted to be. It was just a normal seating area. So if you kind of go up there, that right hand side, there's like almost like a small container shaped. That used to be the bar and everything.
Yeah.
And then it was all just like tables at the front, and we could open it up and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was cool. That place pumped.
Yeah, Tyler Street went off
Yeah.
when way back in the day.
That was really
It was always the coolest spot to go, and it was always hard to get into. There was always a line out the front. Any fucking famous DJ or whoever, like High Life, would do events there.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was a pretty cool spot.
I remember when I'd just gone down to Queenstown, I think, because I kind of started there for the first 6 months or so, and then I went to Queenstown and then for a winter, and then came back. And I think I had Justin Bieber. He either went in there he did a show with somebody at one of the radio stations, like this invite only. And I was like, okay, this place is it's got some pull, me just kind of, I think it was in Bali at the time, just got a CV and was just flicking. I'll be there in 2 weeks. Well,
at least you're thinking forward.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to work eventually.
Yeah. And the plan was just kind of get back. We'd been travelling for just over 4 months, so it was, and we were living on a budget, but obviously 4 months is a long time, even with savings and stuff. So it was a case of right, let's slowly build some money back up, and then go travelling a bit, and then kind of experience Queenstown, see what that's like for a winter, and different bit of the South Island. Maybe do a bit more summer in or Christmas period.
Yeah.
Back up in Auckland, and then jet off. And then, just did the Christmas period and stayed, and ended up running Fukuko, which was the little Japanese cocktail bar next door at the front of Ibisu.
Okay,
Which is now, sadly, a sushi shop. It hits me in a place,
Times change and
absolutely,
shit changes, people move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that place also used to, lunches there, you just... Getting have a line out the door for Donbori bowls.
Yeah.
And getting the takeaway from the Westpac building and stuff.
Yeah, nice. It's a great little spot down there to have a business. You got so many corporates around for that lunchtime sort of rush. I imagine places like Amano do
pumped. Yeah, and they do breakfast as well, right? So it's day, night, everything. In between.
Perfect for a business meeting.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's consistent. The food's good. Yeah. It's airy. And then again, if you haven't got time to go in there, you just grab a really good sandwich.
Yeah, 100%. And is it Yeah, because they've got that little like coffee shop
at the front.
bread
Yeah,
in
really
it,
good coffee. Yeah,
great place.
yeah,
Yeah, I do like it down there. That's good stuff.
yeah,
So you've been on quite a journey, quite well travelled.
yeah.
Worked in a lot of different bars,
Yeah,
and you've now settled at Parasol and
yeah,
Swing.
yeah.
How long you been there?
Been there since the last lockdown, basically. So
Oh, yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. So I'd left. I was with Saver Group for a fair while. Actually, I was with them for just 6 years,
Oh yeah.
5 or 6. Yeah, maybe 5 years or so. So went on a bit of a journey with them, and they were going through that kind of the merger when they became with Moa, so Saver Moa. So stayed on for a little bit just to experience that. I thought it was quite interesting to see how that would go. Went to Ghost and helped open that, and then moved to Parasol. That's
home.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool spot. I mean,
It's
we're
cool,
all
yeah.
up there after the Lewisham Awards.
yeah, that was
Getting
that was
debaucherous.
the night. Yeah,
It was good. It was good fun.
Yeah.
The little tuk-tuks that got us from the event centre.
They were fun. Yeah,
They were great.
Yeah. The plan was that though. It was meant to be that they were going to come straight across the bridge.
Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be like real quick, like a few minutes, and then the council got delayed on the renovations for like not the swing bridge, but the one that's in the middle that's always fixed.
Yeah.
Because of all the bad weather. So it was like, it's gonna be romantic scenic tours, like fresh air bombs for all of us both. And I think Lewisham's had like a free bar at the end, didn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people enjoyed that. It was good.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of people enjoying it. And, it was bizarre because we did the Lewishams the year before.
Yes, yeah.
We were told to prep massive amounts, like 500 portions of each drink we were doing.
Are they in glass, ready to go as well?
Yeah, well, we did, because we were doing first class cocktails.
Yeah.
We did 3 cocktails, and then we just had glasses with ice and garnish ready. And then everything's just pour and serve, Send it out. Nothing had to be shaken or stirred or anything. And so it was real quick. So, like, it was me and Amanda. We did it ourselves, and she was 8 months pregnant. And
well, that shit.
bro, the two of us just did the whole event, but
Yeah.
it was not what we were expecting. We maybe moved 200 to 300 portions of each, which meant we've got all these made cocktails that are not really in like sealed bottles.
That's what I mean. Yeah, is it like it becomes dead stock, and you're just like, oh, that was a business expense.
That's exactly right. And when we got back to Hamilton, a lot of people in like our business park sort of space, I just started portioning it out into 2-litre jugs and just giving them to everyone.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I was like, you got pineapple and pomegranate daiquiri, you've got a strawberries and cream, you've got a pineapple chili margarita.
Fridays were fun that week, yeah.
Exactly. Like, I just gave everyone cocktails because I was like, I can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Of course not, no, yeah.
Whereas talking to a few people that worked this year's one, they were prepping like 300 portions.
Yeah.
And they ran out.
It seemed like everything got slammed, yeah.
Yeah, it went off. Like, the food ran out quite quick.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Which was kind of good to see.
Yes.
Because you want to know that people
You're being
are
responsible,
eating. Because, like, you get your drinks at the start of the event, and everyone tries to load up and get like 3 or 4 because we're going to sit in the awards.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah, and then halfway through the awards, the team from Blanc.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was
started-
clever this year. I was like, yeah, because as you said, I remember like going back when it was at Cordis and you'd chuck a beer in your jacket.
Yeah.
And you'd be,
Exactly. Well, the team from Blanc had the Zoncello
Yes.
cans.
Oh, so like a little refresher
Oh,
as well.
bro, it was like
Yeah.
genius. They just had a whole bunch of cases of them that they pretty much just cut the tops off, and then all of the staff went up and down either side of the aisles and just handed cans out.
It's pretty baller.
And so we got like 2 or 3 cans, and you just pass everything else down, and you got a drink halfway through. It was kind of the perfect time because everyone had just run out of their drinks and maybe sat there for 5-10 minutes without anything.
Yeah.
They come on, everyone gets watered again. It was just, I thought that was genius.
Like a spritz as well, like it's perfect, you know. It's
Yeah,
not too heavy,
limoncello spritz, like it was
It was
delicious.
getting warm in the room at the time, so yeah.
Fuck. I really enjoyed it because it was the first time I had even tried it.
Yeah.
I had Ollie on the podcast, Ollie Fraser.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And he was telling me about it. And I'd seen the bottles, but I hadn't tried it yet. So that was like our first time trying it. It was really fucking tasty. It was good. It was good
stuff, yeah.
But yeah, there was apparently, I won't say the name of the brand, but they got shut down and kicked out off their bar.
Oh, I heard this, but yeah, I've heard conflicting because the other one I heard was that they, again, like you said, 300 serves. and they fired
Cleared
through
out.
them. They just cleared through them, and they were like, we should have brought more.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the guys that was working in activation, and yeah, there was a crew that got caught doing some
Yeah.
things that they shouldn't, whether that be drinking, sneaking drinks and getting smashed themselves and things like that, which I've heard has happened a few times before, where staff are getting carried out, which is not really a good look.
Not what you need, yeah.
Nah, not for the Auckland Hospitality Awards, It's not a very good look, not very responsible service of alcohol.
No.
But it was quite a debaucherous night. But yeah, then we jumped on the tuk-tuks. You hooked us up with one out the front.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
And sent us off to Parasol and started having a boogie there.
It was good, yeah.
It was a great time.
2 floors this time, so yeah, it was good to have Mia open, and also in a capacity like where we've done things there historically. There haven't been a bar, and it's almost been a similar service to kind of here, how it's a lot of batch cocktails. Things were made in the kitchen and brought out, and it was there was like a big fridge at the front that you kind of help yourself if you wanted a beer or whatnot.
Yeah.
Adam's kind of philosophy was that he wanted to feel like you were at his house.
Okay.
So like if he's got mates there, like I'll just grab whatever from the fridge. This is the cool stuff I've got. So it wasn't necessarily set up. We'd opened it previously for Lewishams, but it became a bit of a coat check. Or again, Adam would be down there with having a whiskey with like someone like the likes of Ali or whatnot. People that don't want to kind of necessarily be up in the throng of everything.
Yeah.
So this year we kind of changed it and turned it into a little disco, which was fun, and just meant that again we had like a little lower space that was a bit quieter and an upper space that was just heavy. Yeah.
Because what time do you guys shut on a night like that? What time are you licensed to?
Licensed till 4. So
Okay.
with CBD. We went to about 2:30 again. Like there was a lot of preloading and stuff. So just being careful. But normally we'll go like, so for example, we had like a Latin night last night. I went till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And those guys just keep dancing until you tell them to stop. It's not until they get told to stop. Like it's phenomenal. I remember like looking around last night. It was about at 3 a.m. and it was just everybody like on the deck. We'd like move some tables out on the deck, and it was like kind of thinning out, but nobody was stood still. Everybody was dancing. Everyone was smiling. And it was just like, this is what I do hospitality. This is
and Latin people and people that love Latin music.
So
it's all about dancing.
Absolutely. It was just such lovely people. Like the crowd, like, like sometimes you'll do an event and you're like, oh, the atmosphere feels a bit like thick. It's, there's like almost like not tension, but it's taking like a lot to kind of lift up and kind of and rise to it. Whereas this was just effortless. Yeah. It was so chill. Yeah.
Perfect.
And the guys, the promoters that are doing it, work with us and do some stuff at Broken Lantern as well. Yeah. So they know the gig. They've been in the industry like Spooth for years, DJing other places. So they just get it. And when they get it, it just again makes it easier. Look over the DJ booth and you're like, "Want the beer?" And they're like, "Yeah, please." And you're like, "Cool."
Yeah. Look after them, and they keep looking after you by keeping the crowd happy. Yeah, for sure.
Here we go again. It's ad time, but don't hit that skip button just yet. Today's sponsor is First Class Cocktails, another company that I own and operate. So technically it's less of an ad and more of me shamelessly promoting myself. You know what's better than a great cocktail? A great cocktail with no effort. Meet First Class Cocktails, New Zealand's premier provider of premium bottled, ready-to-drink cocktails. We're talking about perfectly balanced flavors, made with the finest ingredients, and all you have to do is pour, sip, and enjoy. From timeless classics like the martini and the old-fashioned, to bold new creations like our pineapple and chili margarita. First Class Cocktails ensures every drink feels like a first-class experience. Whether it's a night in or a party out with friends, we've got your cocktail game covered. Order now at firstclasscocktails.com and raise your glass to effortless luxury. First Class Cocktails, because every moment deserves to feel first class.
So that kind of, I'm sort of thinking about I'm trying to think of like, really useful situations in which we learn stuff in a hospo. And you've clearly worked in a lot of successful venues.
Yeah.
So what are sort of the core things that you think a venue has to have to be a successful venue?
Firstly, I would say, again, like if we're talking about from the top, managers that are available.
Yeah.
I've worked in places that the manager has been office based.
Yeah.
Like come out for literally like a 30-second check and come back. And then, you know, like when things inevitably go wrong, they're like, you know, it's not my fault, it's everybody else's, you know, they're throwing a team under and whatnot. So definitely managers are available, be that for chats or just being there to get stuck in. Again, lead by example. It's that classic thing. Passion, another one. Again, like sometimes you can see people that maybe done it for a few too many years and lost it, or just it was a stopgap and they don't have the passion.
Yeah.
You can definitely see venues that, you know, care and they've got like a curated like offering and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that's the other one as well, is knowing what you are. Like we've transitioned slightly with Parasol, like we do push the late nights, but predominantly Parasol is a good time rooftop bar.
Yeah.
We do, you know, the idea is that you can come through the day, you come for lunch and have a good time, you come for dinner, after work drinks or whatnot, or ideally you come and stay and have a little bit of a boogie in the evening. But if you know what you are, then you know how to market yourself and you know what the offering or what your offering should be and what your target audience are. Sometimes, you know, like your best laid plans don't necessarily work and you might need to, hey, I want to do this bespoke cocktail that are all stirred or whatnot, and you realise that because of your location you can't necessarily do that, but maybe there's small wins and things. I think it's just being awareness as well.
Yeah. So having a clear vision of sort of what you are.
Yeah,
what
I think
you're
that
doing.
helps so much. There's so many places that are
Confused.
a bit confused, and then also have maybe not looked at the not like done their research and kind of seen what's around them or see kind of what the clientele's like. Like sometimes, you know, is it worth opening up another beer bar if there's already 4 around, or is there a reason why there's not a beer bar there because the clientele don't want it? Or
that is a very interesting and very overlooked aspect. Like observing who the clientele are around.
Yeah.
And who you're going to be competing with.
Yeah.
Is there a hole in the market, or does the market just want what's there?
Absolutely. And I think also with that, it's looking at the market and instead of working against it or trying to compete, it's how can we support?
Yeah.
Like here, a perfect example, right? You've got Guilt over the road, you've got Panacea, Theo with Truth or Dare just down the road now, you know. Again, you can do a walk, you can end up in Caretaker, you can beeline to the viaduct, you can go down there, and that's also where we kind of slipped in. We looking at menus and things like that. Like we're blessed with so many restaurants around us, so we do have an elevated food program.
Yeah.
But like our low hanging fruit is pre-dinner, after dinner. So if we can maximise that and focus on that and do what we do well, then you know we all win, because right now it's a tough industry. So you've got to be competitive and you've also got to work together. Otherwise, you just, you know, if you're there like championing the flag and, you know, you're going to be by yourself. Yeah.
This is my mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will die on it.
And there, you know, there are those operators in Auckland Hospo.
Certain
venues, and they don't get many. None of the Hospo go in there, you know, and you think like Hospo almost like a concierge in a hotel. They'll go and try things. They'll go and recommend things. You know, like so if we are working together, you know, and we're amicable and we're going to support each other, then it comes around full circle.
Yeah, I've always noticed that bars that bartenders drink at are typically always doing a little bit better than the neighbours.
Yeah.
And it also makes it a venue that, like, you know, as bartenders, we all kind of move around.
Yes.
We jump to different venues and we've got friends in different venues because we are a very tight-knit community that even patrons get to know the bartenders and they will go and drink at whatever venue that bartender's at and things. And they just want to see, I think customers get a bit of a kick out of watching bartenders and hospo stuff that they know.
Yeah.
Trying new things and doing new things and being able to recommend them cool stuff, because ultimately those patrons leave with a bit of information that the next time with their, like if they came here to Panacea, you know, and they get told something really cool about whiskey from someone like Danny, then they're going to go to their friends and they might have that whiskey and they're going to relay that cool piece
Absolutely,
of information.
yeah.
And then Danny has not only had an effect on their experience here at Panacea, but he's now having an effect on their experience at their friend's house.
Absolutely, yeah. It becomes like an education piece, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then it kind of just like everyone likes to hang out with people that give them free information. You know, make them feel a little bit smarter and more knowledgeable about something. Like
that's like the best thing I find. We obviously get quite a lot of tourists down towards the viaduct, but again, you give them that like little sneaky insight as they kind of feel it. You know, like sent somebody the other day to the cave.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've been up there to
I
this
haven't.
cave.
Nah.
Next time Amanda's up, go. It's like opposite kind of where the 4 Points are, the Sheraton is.
Yeah.
On Queen Street.
Yeah.
And you go down, it's like this little kind of like underground Japanese, almost like an izakaya. Just high energy, great food, pretty cheap. It's like an institution that's been there for years.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, they came back and they were like, wow, that place was epic last night. And then you're just like, that's like, again, you know, like you've provided a further service to, you know, that is hospitality, right? You're kind of understanding the needs and whatnot and send them somewhere. And then the fact they come back, and then B, when they're like, oh, that recommendation last night, they're like, a bit sore today. And you're like, yeah.
And it puts so much,
yeah.
It makes you more credible.
Yeah.
You know, like I think, you know, people ask bartenders for recommendations all the time, whether it be, you know, ask being at Guilt and asking a recommendation on the sauce to go with your steak, or being at Parasol and a recommendation on your cocktail, being at Panacea, a recommendation on whiskey.
Yeah.
You give people a recommendation that they like, you're credible in their eyes.
Yeah.
And they will, you know, not have to take any of your opinions with a grain of salt.
Yes.
It'll just be like, oh, cool, like I trust that opinion. They've already helped us before. We'll carry on.
We'll do this,
We're like that with a mechanic, you know?
Yeah.
Someone requires a good solution to our problem with our car. We're like, cool, I'm going back to that mechanic again.
Absolutely,
that was good service.
You ripped me off, you didn't do that. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's also, with the recommendations, you're like, all right, what are you after? You know, like, because I could recommend where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Someone like here, you know, or caretaker, because when I finish work, I would rather sit somewhere that's a little bit quieter, you know, and not getting banged into and half my beer spilt. But sometimes someone like wants someone to dance. Okay, fine, you know, and it's understanding what the market is in New Zealand, like, and that's again it's like tourists, you know, understand what's in Christchurch or Tokyo or whatnot, and you know, and that's what I love about New Zealand is the size of it, because of things like the competitions are often like pull the crew from Christchurch up or Wellington, or we can fly down there and go and experience it, and you just see how vibrant the hospitality scene is over here and how you can work together, and you're like, the power of a coaster boomerang, you know? You're like, right, you're going to go down to Christchurch, right, say hi to Charles.
Yeah.
Like you write like love Johnny or love Parasol and give it to them, and then you get sent a photo and they feel like they're like in the secret club now, and you're like, bless you, you know, but it's great. And then they go there and they're like, oh, this is great, you know, like you told us to go and see Charles or Harry or whatnot or Martin, and it's phenomenal. Like,
it definitely keeps the hospo community close as well. I think we're all fucked up in our own little ways, so it's nice to know.
Right? Yeah, you know,
it's nice to know we're all part of the still fucked up family.
No, I love it. And then once in a while, there's a cocktail comp, and then everyone gets pulled together, or there's some like BarCon, for example. Everyone pops up, and you're just like, we're all back together again. You know, like a little reunion. Yeah,
exactly. Did you ever get much involved in comps?
Yeah, I've done a fair few. Yeah, little bits here and there. Did a couple like Stolly, Roots.
Yep.
What else have we done? Did Bacardi Legacy back in the day. They were great. That was some big parties. Yeah.
Legacy, big parties. Any big successes?
Yeah, Stolly, I got to go to Thailand, which was great.
Nice.
And then Roots got to make some gin, and then like little bits here and there. We did like, there was a JMO homegrown one, and got like $1,000, which was cool.
Nice.
It's always helpful, and that was like during COVID. So but like normally it's just getting everyone together. It's like another like social thing. So I like it because you feel like you've worked to it, even if you don't get through. You know, it's getting you thinking in a different way, because it might be that your program is this, or I've done a menu and I don't need to do one for a period, but okay, you want me to make a spritz with this or this with that, and then there's obviously a bit of like brand fluffing that you need to do, but around that it is a challenge and whatnot, and again, like if you don't go through, you go and support the guys that did.
And it's great for networking and that
Yeah,
sort of
absolutely,
environment.
yeah. And to see what people put together, you know, and you know, maybe your drink just wasn't there, but it's not like I'm never buying this product again, you know,
Yeah.
or whatnot. Like support the guys that are doing it and learn from them. I think, yeah, that's the main thing that the takeaway from that is learn from others, see what they're doing, ask questions. I think I didn't when I first started.
Yeah.
I remember like when I first started cocktails, like back in the UK, and kind of I understood that a lot of cocktails were kind of variants of classics or whatnot. Or there was a classic element to it, and I was like, nah, I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna make my own, you know. So I would, and you kind of look back at some of them, and you're like, yeah, that was that kind of. It was a sour style, so it was that kind of pattern. But I just didn't think about it that way.
There's like Campari, Aperol, Amaro, Montenegro. There we go. There's a drink.
It's like a riff on a Pimm's cup. I think
Okay.
the bowls competition.
Yeah.
I look back at the photo popped up, you know, like Facebook just reminds you of like, from 15 years ago. And I was like, oh God. I submitted that and that was an amazing one. Like it was a huge comp, but they gave feedback to everybody. And
Wow, that's cool.
And again, it just got a little email and it was like, there was maybe just a bit too much going on. And I was like, cool, fair enough, you know, like, yeah. But learn quickly that, like, if you know your classics and you know that kind of thing, like there's a reason why people often do that with kind of cocktail development, that you have a base or a base knowledge that you can then build off of, and then really like flavor profiles are quite, once you understand that, it's fairly easy.
All right, team, it's that time again, sponsor advertisement time. Look, I know ads can feel like one song on repeat, but today's sponsors are the Bar Society and First Class Cocktails. If you've listened this far through the podcast, you already know that they're two companies that I personally own and operate. So hey, if you're rolling your eyes, at least roll them over to our websites and get ready to take your cocktail experience to the next level. Imagine this: First Class Cocktails premium bottled drinks paired with the Bar Society's crystal clear ice. It's a match made in cocktail heaven. Whether you're hosting a dinner party, impressing guests at a wedding, or just treating yourself to a well-deserved drink, these two brands will bring you everything you need for a flawless pour. First Class Cocktails delivers unbeatable flavor, while the Bar Society adds the perfect touch of elegance with slow-melting, pristine ice. Why settle for ordinary when you can create extraordinary? Head to firstclasscocktails.com and thebarsociety.co.nz to order today. Together, we'll elevate every sip. First Class Cocktails and the Bar Society. The perfect pairing for your perfect pour.
Do you think Hospo requires a certain personality to be able to excel in it, or everything can kind of just be learned? In terms of like, we do a lot of learning of recipes, this, that, and the other. I've always kind of believed it takes a certain person to be able to fall into hospitality and be really successful at it. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff you can learn on the side.
That was what I was thinking. I was like, there is an element to it. And I was thinking about some people I've worked with, and I'm like, there have been a variety of people in hospo, and then some of them have thrived and some of them haven't. And I guess, like empathy, I think, is a big thing. Like you can come up with the world's best cocktail in your opinion, and you can serve it to a customer, and they've asked you for something fruity, and you're like, it's got a cherry in it, and it's like, it's like a fruity Manhattan, and they're like, so, and they might not vibe with it, and instead of taking it as a personal attack, like, okay, be empathetic to what the customer needs, what the customer wants, again, empathetic to the team, of what you're doing, and how you're behaving, and how your actions can affect, but definitely, like, I think you need to be able to be successful. I think you need to be willing to learn and take on feedback. That's number one thing I've seen when people have faltered, is that they're so sure they're doing something the right way, and they've been given feedback by multiple people, and they just, no, I'm right, and 1 out of 100 it works, and fine, they battle through, but so often they end up just kind of forming a riff with a team, or burning out because they just don't kind of see things from a wider perspective.
Yeah, totally. You want to. It's quite like, I think we can all relate to letting the ego get hold of us. You do good at a cocktail.
You know, and that's also why I think that we do some of these cocktail comps and things as well. Like there is an element of that, and it does, like, especially like, for example, like yourself with the cocktail program, with the first class cocktails and with the ice. Like, if there wasn't a bit of ego there, then you wouldn't be striving to be the best and trying to make a great product and make it better and keep pushing. You'd be like, cool, I've opened a bar, I've got 4 whiskeys, I've got my beer, and this is it. You know,
come on, people.
Exactly, and sadly in this market, those places aren't the places that are going to survive.
Because
the bar in New Zealand hospitality at the moment is so high. Like, there's a lot of internationals coming across.
It's only getting bigger.
Like, I think that's it. Like 2010, like the scene was a lot more kind of nightclub focused. Like you had some great nightclubs that were doing great cocktails, things like 885 back in the day. But in terms of like big cocktail bars and stuff, like Revelry back then were doing solid cocktails, and obviously Mea Culpa and whatnot. Bramble had been there for a while, but you look at now in comparison, that cocktail boom things in New Zealand seem to take a little while, you know, like they come from US or London, they kind of hit Aussie, and then it's another couple of months before it comes over here. But that cocktail boom has really hit New Zealand. You know, like likes of even like Lone Star or whatnot are doing huge things. Like you can kind of see it with people like Black Pineapple, where they're everywhere now, and they come up with a great product that means that it takes the trouble out of a lot of like the trainings and the consistency. Same with these, right? As you did then, you just pour it, done. Garnish if you want, you know. But so often, like places watching their cogs or whatnot, they don't want to order a cucumber that they might not use or an orange. So
yeah, for sure. And I am kind of like, in terms of like this style of ready to pour cocktail, it's not for every bar.
No.
Like, you know, venues like here at Panacea or Parasol, when you've got the staff that have the knowledge and the ability to make drinks on the fly and do all the shaking, the stirring and things like that, but then you have, say, like a restaurant in a smaller town.
Yes.
It's hard for them to get a bartender or bar manager that is clued up and can riff on classics and understand what the customer wants and things like this. And so it's just cost effective. And it gives them varietal that doesn't trap them into just being beers and wine. You know?
Yeah, most definitely,
Fucking lemon lime bitters, you know? Like that's probably the highest extent of their cocktail making ability.
Yeah. And you also see, again, like training, especially with cocktails, is a huge investment.
Yeah.
You think like building up even if you do find a bartender that's cocktail clue, or interested in cocktails, because not everyone is. You know, some people do see it a bit wanky and they're like, nah, you know, I don't want that. I like my beers or I like my wines, but cocktails aren't my niche. But when you do find that person and you start building them, the amount of time you're investing, like not only in product but knowledge and time and whatnot, and their knowledge, like their time as well, like they're going away with little books that you've given them as oh mate, this will be real great for this thing, or researching something, and not a lot of venues have got that.
And it's great to see that the New Zealand cocktail scene is coming up to a world-class sort of level. Like it's definitely on its way. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we're like, you know, I was in Truth or Dare a couple of weeks ago, and like Theo's drinks there. They are cusping on that, you know, on that standard, and it being such a little
spot.
Just a little intimate spot where the bartenders are able to, you know, they're on the floor with the customers. So it's very interactive and very like, he pretty much mentioned that was the idea behind Truth or Dare. The truth is that there's no bar to hide behind, essentially. We're in the middle of the floor. And the dare is we're daring you to try these drinks that's a little bit sort of out there.
Put it out there,
And a lot of the top cocktail bars around the world now are doing stuff that's a little bit out there,
Yes.
like when in terms of sustainability, where it's reusing so many different products and waste products to get something out of it. They're, trying all these different infusions. I'm thinking of like Cal's drink for scapegrace when he had like black sand syrup and things like this. And it's, that shit is quite out the gate.
It is, yeah. But if you can
And-
break it down, you have the time to talk to somebody about it, and you're like, oh, this is the components to it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's this, yeah.
Exactly. And I find that a lot of bartenders that are in that realm of the really proficient cocktail bartenders, sometimes we're very fortunate that a lot of our good bartenders at the moment have come from international spots and come to us.
Yeah.
Whereas we have a lot of Kiwis that have come up and their goal is to go somewhere like Sydney or Melbourne or London. They want to get out and they want to
move, yeah.
I did that,
Yes, yeah.
Started doing cocktails here. There wasn't much of a cocktail scene in New Zealand at the time because I think it was like 2013 when I moved to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And you go there and it's just another level.
Yes.
But then there's been a large crew of us, especially around the COVID time, that have been international and then come back to New Zealand.
There's so much, yeah.
And
Like
help bring
JC
that
as well
knowledge.
and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Mikey Ball,
Mikey Ball, absolutely Mikey Ball, yeah.
Andrea from
Yes.
Teresa,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
like there's been such a great crew of people that have experienced the world, come back and are helping elevate New Zealand's drinking experience again.
Yeah, I fully agree.
And it just builds it up and up and up and up
Yeah.
and up. And then those international bartenders are all wanting to learn from each other and collaborate. And it's kind of like NZ BarCon is great for the mingling,
Absolutely,
like the maybe Sammy crew coming over. And it's all just, we're all just really delinquents that like to have a drink and
have
spot-
a drink and hear about people. And it is like,
Exactly.
it's nerding out, right? Like,
Yeah.
You sit there and you hear about a bar's ethos and why they do things, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. And maybe I can't walk around with a bubble gun, but
Yeah.
I understand. Like, I think the story with that was that a lady in the village used to have this bubble gun while she went to a nearby cafe, and she'd leave it on her balcony and she'd watch the kids play with these bubbles while she had a wine. It brought her joy, and you're like, well, I can maybe I didn't do that myself, but I can reminisce with this like childhood story. So this is also where I can bring things in, or I can do that, or I can look at what the joy that gave her, and maybe there's an element of something I can do in the bar to demystify something, or like giving somebody a taster of something and being like, it's not, it's not good. Say for example, black sand cordial or whatnot. Like it sounds like it's going to be really out there, but actually like the flavors you get from it are a common flavor.
And like you say, like demystifying it is a great word. I mean, it's like great chefs, they talk about doing all these different things, and if you don't speak the language, it sounds foreign.
Yes.
It sounds scary.
Yeah. Overwhelming almost, right?
Yeah. But when you find out they're just taking like salt and pepper and putting it on some meat and frying it,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, that's, I've got that down,
Absolutely, yeah. Mundo, for me, is someone that does that really well.
Yeah.
So Edmundo from Takateka.
Yeah.
So back when I was in Saver Group, he used to be the sommelier in Ostro, and then he kind of went off and he did La Fuente and whatnot. But my wine knowledge when I first got to New Zealand, like it was to the point that I remember at one point being like, I think I understand how rosé is made, but I'm like, I don't quite, I kind of get it, and because I'd gone in like pretty quickly after I'd started, and it was hearing in a wine tasting, and it's talking about bricks and it's talking about skin contact and whatnot, and I'm just like, all of these flavors, and I'm just like, not along like I know, but because I'm new, I don't want to be like, I don't know, like I get I can taste the flavors, like you're saying strawberries and cream for New Zealand rosé, I get that, but I don't know the technicalities or why residual sugar, that kind of stuff, like what that means, or and his wine trainings that he does are phenomenal. So we're talking about the different like main varietals, right? So you've got like lemon, and you have a Sauvignon Blanc, a grape. I think I'm gonna get this wrong, but I think it was a grape skin was reminiscent, and you'd peel the grape and try that, and that was like, I think that was Riesling, and the grape itself was Pinot Gris. I might have got those wrong way, and again, when we're talking about tannin, so he's got this oversteeped green tea, and you're trying that, and you're just like, all right, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, this now I understand what this is like. And when you talk about skin contact and about how, again, being like tea, right? And what different types of picking, like if you're using a machine or if you're like whole bunch or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like then you're like, okay, fine. Now I understand. So now this isn't so out there. So now I want to know more because I've already learned a bit.
Yeah.
And now I'm interested. And that's I think the other pull with bartending is you like you learn about cocktails, right? You're like, I like whiskey. Okay, cool. So you try whiskey, and then you're like, okay, I don't quite understand it, but then you learn about the regions, and you're like, quite like Speyside. And then you hear about someone talks to you about, this has been finished in sherry or whatnot, and you're like, okay, right. As most New Zealanders, like you quite like sherry, you quite like a Speyside. Okay, fine. And then you start learning about car strength, and then all of a sudden there's like this
the
again
world
with classics,
opens.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like Caretaker did it phenomenally when they came over to New Zealand. Like people knew their classics, but the Bible was open, you know, and you're just like you get an experienced bartender in there, and then the so and so, you know, and everyone's like, okay, right, amazing, you know, like this is St. Gal's, and you start seeing these then pop up on menus in other places. And,
Yeah, I was always a fan of like finding new, super popular, interesting. The white Negroni daiquiri was like when I discovered that drink over in Oz, I was just like, fuck, I can't wait to make this all the time. I like went back to the restaurant I was at. That goes on the menu.
Yeah,
Start teaching all the staff that white Negroni daiquiri. I was just like, what a. You know, whenever we start creating our own cocktails, we're taking a classic, we're swapping out some ingredients.
Yes.
We're reinventing a classic.
Yeah.
And then someone's, you have the Negroni, then you have the white Negroni.
So,
and that was already like, I'm amazed that someone thought we can make this drink a clear or blondie sort of version.
Yeah.
You know, I had never even heard of like Sue's until the white Negroni. And then to take something like a daiquiri, which is probably... Negroni also iconic, but the daiquiri, everyone knows the daiquiri, and they may not know a classic daiquiri, they may know a strawberry daiquiri or something, but the daiquiri name,
people understand it,
worldwide,
yeah,
and it's not necessarily a bartender cocktail. It's definitely a go-to cocktail for bartenders, but Negroni, that bitter, strong, it's not something that every person is going to enjoy, but kind of everyone loves the fucking daiquiri.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you put them together and you're just like, wow, now it's vibrant, it's bitter, it's complex.
Yeah. And I just thought, whoever thought of this is genius. But really, they've just followed the same simple recipe that we've always all done. Take something that already exists and swap it around a little bit.
Yeah.
And that is the simplicity of being able to come up with sort of a revolutionary, iconic drink.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, I wholeheartedly agree with it. A lot of stuff has been done. Yeah. A lot of stuff has been done before, and it's using that inspiration. Yeah. Can I tweak something? Can I do? Like, do I add a different modifier? Do I do this? And then sometimes, you're like, whoa, this is like completely different, and you're like, wow, okay, right, amazing. What 5 mils of this is done, or
But adding
shaking Campari, I don't know if you've ever done it, like
just shaking Campari.
Shaking Campari and how it just opens up. Just
I haven't.
Almost do Campari, just shake it and then try it compared to just in a glass.
Yeah, okay.
Even just like a little bit of ice and just how it opens up and all it just becomes this like completely different product.
Okay, yeah, I might have to do that tonight when I get back home.
It's just real interesting, just
experiment.
Like how it opens up the nose and everything. This is interesting.
Interesting. See, I always saline solution.
Oh yeah,
put in salt into
season
something.
your cocktails. Hell yeah.
When people first started doing that, I was just like,
interesting.
Interesting. Never thought of that. Makes perfect sense.
Yes.
And I think that's really when I personally started knowing the similarities between chefs and bartenders, and then ever since I kind of took notice of that, you now have bartenders using so many more food items.
Hell yeah.
In cocktails. Are they doing a clarified tomato juice for Bloody Marys or Marias and things like this, and getting into making your own acid solutions, and working with citric malics and fermentations and all of the other shit that chefs have done for years and years and years. and we are now just taking from them again.
Yeah, and you see some like fantastic like chef-run places, and they're like before that, for example, there's a place in Thailand called Bar Us. I got the chance to go to, and they have, you go into a fairly dark room, and they've got this big station in the middle, and a big long table, so you sit around it almost like a dinner table.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of little twos on the side, but you do that, and the menu is coursed. So
Okay.
they have a few classics and whatnot, but there's like starters, there's mains, there's desserts, and like one of the starters was like this ramen cocktail, and they've like made like, it's like a gourd and carrot distillate with some kind of like some spice seasoning or whatnot, and it comes out cold with noodles on top, like deep, like crispy noodles to eat in this cup. So it's like a savoury cocktail. But it was like, okay, wow, this is amazing. Like you've again taken these techniques and then developed a different way, and now you've got a mix of savoury, and then into desserts you've got your kind of more sweeter or chocolatey drinks. So it's quite a cleverly way done.
For sure. Yeah, there's some cool shit out there now. Even like I like that people are now starting to create. Bartenders always use kitchen gadgets.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like a RoboCoupe or something like this to try and make something into a puree and then turn it into a cordial, etc.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a big fan of the Spinzel. I
Yes.
love like getting the centrifuge going, clarifying juices. Because obviously we do clear ice.
Yeah.
I'm all about clear cocktails
clear,
as well.
yeah.
Like if it's clear, it's great. Like
Have you got a couple?
I've got a Spinzel.
Yeah.
Gets a workout. We probably put maybe 40 litres of shit through it a week.
Oh, correct.
It goes
It's working,
hard.
yeah.
Like Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
between 9 and 5 p.m.
It's just constantly
It's
going.
just cruising along, doing
Cool.
different juice. Like the strawberries and cream milk punch gets done through it.
Oh wow.
So I do
Yeah.
like a clarified strawberry juice.
Yeah.
And then once we make the milk punch, I'll pass that through like a kitchen strainer to get a lot of the curd out.
Yeah.
And then once I've kind of thinned it out a little bit, I'll like chuck in Makisa Sol and Chitterson, and then whack that through the centrifuge and run it. I did make the mistake the first time I ran it that I didn't take any of the curd out before I passed it through.
It's a little bit too thick.
It was too thick, and there was so much curd that the bowl of the centrifuge filled up. And then it couldn't actually hold it back anymore, and then it started spilling, and I didn't just,
You turn around, you're like, oh god.
and I've contaminated maybe I've already got 5 litres done, and then I've let like 400 mils go through.
Yeah.
That is still got curd in it, it's contaminated the whole thing. I'm like,
That's the worst of milk punches, and you're just like, oh god.
and you're making like 10 litres at a time, so you're like, fuck, I can't do this in small batch.
Yeah.
I can't just do one cocktail. It's got to be several litres, so I've got to like have a whole bottling line ready to go. Like, all right, we're doing 40 bottles of strawberries and cream this year or today.
Yeah.
And but like gadgets like that are just amazing. And like Theo's centrifuge that he's down, he's got the proper medical one.
Yes, yeah.
And like that thing spins way faster than ours.
Cool,
but like,
yeah.
how cool is that? The Rotovac.
Rotovac.
What a great piece of equipment.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
what did I try the other day? Michael from Project Hydrosol. Mm-hmm. He's done this orange habanero hydrosol.
Yeah.
And from being a ghost, like we tried loads of chilies, and we bought loads from around from New Zealand, and we made all the sauces and stuff in house, and loved the vibrancy you'd get from habanero. But God, they pack a punch,
Yeah.
Improve a cocktail. Whereas this had like no spice to it. Again, he'd like seasoned it, I think, a little bit, but like the aroma on it was just like orange and capsicum, and it led to you thinking it was going to be spicy, and then we bring it up and it's just, it was so good.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Love it.
We're going to get that in for something for sure.
Yeah. I like the sound of that. What is a piece of advice, whether it be a new bartender coming into Hopso or someone that's looking to, or just a piece of advice that you think everyone in Hopso should kind of maybe be made aware of? Is there anything that comes to mind?
A few things, I think.
Or any advice for managers and things like this?
Yeah, there's always more to learn. Would be one thing, and keep learning.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, like that's how we improve, and be that you're learning about your classic cocktails or whatnot, or be that you sitting down and reflecting on a shift and okay, maybe there were some learnings in that, maybe how I how I acted in the situation or how I communicated in this situation wasn't the right way, and maybe I can learn from that. Maybe I can talk to a peer about it, or maybe it is just that I don't know it all.
So yeah, the ability to always be learning. Every day's a school day.
Yeah, that's what I love about Hopso. It's just it teaches you so much. Like basically the whole time I've been in Auckland, I've moved. I guess it's 6 blocks from Britomart across the viaduct. And I've done a couple of stops on that journey, and the clientele crosses a little bit, but they're all very different. Yeah, like you do see. I still see the other person that pops up from the from Britomart or from Commercial Bay or whatnot. But there's always, when you think you know it, and you're like, I know Auckland. You don't. You don't. And there's again or you have a new team member that comes in. You need to change the way that you manage them, because they might need a softer touch or whatnot, whatnot. Like there's always
Yeah, nice. Always learning, and the ability to be a bit introspective and look at yourself and yeah, like you say, maybe I need to approach this person differently than I approach everyone else.
Yeah,
I can't just expect them to fit in.
No,
to the style.
This is my mold. Yeah, you fit it, and there are places like that. There's places that take people and they split them up and chew them out, and they don't. But for example, like Parasol, that's why I love it so much, because there is direction from what Adam and Jason and Ollie did kind of at the start, and you've had so many skilled people across the years go through and added their touch to it, and it's just developed and built, and there's hallmarks of so many greats there, even in some of the core recipes that make the foundation of some of our drinks. Yeah, and it just it's I guess it's like a pub in a way, going back to what we were talking about before about how the walls can speak, and how the tins can talk there.
Oh, I love it. Now I'm not sure what the timer is, but I think we're coming towards the end. I normally finish on a breadcrumb mojito moment. Yeah. So have I explained to you what that is?
Go over it again. I've listened to a couple, but yeah.
Okay, so my first cocktail that I ever made was a mojito. Yeah. And I was looking for sugar. Yeah. Was informed that there was brown sugar, at least somewhere. I found what I thought was brown sugar, and it turned out to be a bag of breadcrumbs. Yeah. And so I poured that into these mojitos and just made a horrific mess. Yeah. And then essentially got relegated back to a station where I didn't have to do any of that shit. And the bar manager remade everything. But we've talked about, I like when we do the podcast, we're talking about a lot of successes and things that we've learned and experiences we've had and things like this. And I am always conscious that we're putting ourselves on a pedestal somewhat. Yes. So I like to finish on a humbling moment, going back to when we didn't know anything and we were morons. Yeah. And we did something like made a breadcrumb mojito. So we normally finish on a breadcrumb mojito moment. So if you have anything that comes to mind that's like I did this dumb thing.
Let's think about this actually. One that really harks true is, I guess it ties back to what we were saying before. And it was when I first got to New Zealand, and I was like, right, I've been a manager before. Hop straight into management, do that, go in, be a DM somewhere, whatnot. And GM there, a good friend of mine, Phil, epic human. Heard me out, talked about my experience and whatnot, and in a very fair way. He wasn't rude about it or anything. He was just like, cool, we'll start you up as a bartender, and we'll teach you how you do things in New Zealand. Okay. And you go there, and it was a casual chat. I wasn't bigging myself up or anything. I was just kind of talking through it, and he was just like, okay, well, we'll build you. You know, and it was like that kind of thing. And for me, that was like I don't know it all.
Just got nudged into the right lane.
Yeah, and again, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have refostered the passion and maybe carried on for so long in Hopso. But it was, back to slinging drinks at 3 a.m. on a Friday, and then giving little bits of tidbits and whatnot, and then they took the chance. But
So yeah, coming in with a little bit of classic bartender ego, wanting to be a manager.
And you're like, well, I've been a manager before. I've been doing it for a few years. I've been doing like venues that've got a similar capacity, that smaller scale because they're over multiple floors in the UK. And I can do this. And then you get here, and it was just like, oh yeah, cool. Well, that's great, but we'll try again. Yeah.
You're going to be making vodka lime and sodas for the next 6 months, and then we'll maybe look at the bar manager.
And it's not even like relearning everything. It's just kind of, I guess it is relearning. But it's just going...
Fine-tuning,
going from the ground up again, and, like being like... It's also helpful because, again, you look at things from a different perspective when you are in the weeds, or you're, like, you're not managing, and it's like, okay, see some great things, and that was a big company.
Yeah, perfect. Love it, bro.
Easy.
It's a good way to finish it off.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much for your time.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, anyone. If you want to have a drink with Jonny, go down and see him at Parasol.
Or Mia sometimes.
Yeah.
Be downstairs. Easy.
Happy days. Love it, bro.
Mate.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. Ciao. Awesome, bro.
Cool. Thank you.
That's it for this week's episode of the Breadcrumb Mojito podcast. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram and TikTok at the Breadcrumb Mojito podcast, and look out for next week's episode.